Just know if the individual is treating you more firm in terms of their interaction with you compared to the others, it's because they like you. Story time. So, story time. There is this one particular individual who I've actually been doing service work with, and working with those in need within the city for quite some time. We would go to various like churches and shelters and things of that nature, and sometimes even to like around the police station. There were certain events that were taking place in the city where we were doing certain drives, things of that nature. I noticed that, this individual could be very friendly, very conversational at times, but oftentimes they would tighten up a bit um, when it came to interacting with me if there was too many people around. Or, if it was a case where they felt that they were getting too lax in regards to their interaction with me. And I started to think to myself, like, because I operate from just reading energy. And I was thinking, like, well, where is all this coming from? Why are they all of a sudden acting all weird or whatever? I'm like, cool, whatever. I'll continue to go about my way. And then I started putting it together, two and two together. And I noticed how they would react when I wasn't interacting with them. And I was like, okay, so this is going a lot deeper than what I thought. And sometimes they would even go as far as surprising me with things like, like buying me something to eat, or, offering to, take me to certain places, or actually giving me surprise gifts when I least expect it. And I knew all of this time that it was this one particular individual. And they didn't do this for no one else. It was always just me. And it continues to just be me. So I don't know what to do with it, because this individual is actually in a relationship with someone else. You heard me correctly. I don't know what to do with it. It seems like it's such a flood of energy I've been feeling lately. I don't know what's going on, but it's not only coming from new people in regards to admiration and such, that I see online, of course. I'm getting such a flood of responses now, which is, again, very thoughtful of you guys, and I thank you. But I've been getting quite a bit in regards to just being out and about in public too, such as with the person that I do volunteer work with. And sometimes just randomly just being out in the public, whether I'm at a store, or maybe like on public transportation, like if I'm using a train or something. I would get that type of energy, that interaction, and it's just like it's a flood. And I'm not saying it hasn't been the case in past. I think for me, I'm just noticing it because it's so heavy now in terms of the flirtatious energy. I say all that to say it's very sweet, but outside of that, I started putting two and two together, and I realized the reason why this person is acting this way towards me is because they have a liking to me and they don't know how to express it without making me, or the possibility of making me, uncomfortable. And little do they realize, I actually like them too. That's the kicker in all of this. But I would never cross that boundary, that line, because of where they are in terms of their relationship. So I would never do it. But either way, it's kind of funny when you start to piece it together and realize what's going on here. And for me, I've always been one that's been a giver. But when you have someone who's doing it constantly for you, and it's just like a surprise out of nowhere, so meaning like you're going to the event, whether it's like a coat drive or you're serving meals, whatever the case may be, and you walk in and someone tells you, oh, there's something here for you. It's like, oh, really? It's like, that takes some getting used to. Especially if you one that just you get more gratification from giving. And it's about time that I now become comfortable with receiving more, which I'm learning to do that. I say all this to say, if anyone else is encountering the same scenario too, go with your gut. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So if your gut is telling you to seize the day and pursue it, that's on you. So a lot of this, I think, when it comes to what we deem as being sinful is man-made constructs. A lot of the relationship types that are out there nowadays that most would say is not right, whatever the case may be, is man-made constructs. This stuff has been going on for ages in various ways. You know, like you talk about like the Romans, or even in Africa too. You know, you look at the original structures of how things were set up when it came to relationships, things of that nature. It was considered the norm then. It wasn't until the latter, more so like AD and on, that we started to change the game and make it seem like, oh, it's completely wrong, when in all actuality, it was something that we just made up as beings here. Another topic for another day when it comes to that. Anyhow, again, it's flattering, but at the same time, I just can't do it because I don't want to be one to be pulled into a scenario like that, knowing what the outcome is going to be because of the situation for what it is. And then there's feelings becoming involved. You get what I'm saying? So this is where we have to think about the long term and protecting your peace and your peace of mind. Like, would this be good for me on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, to pursue this or not? I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts about this, just in regards to your own scenario, if you've ever encountered it or you know someone who's going through it. Like, how are they handling it? Again, for me personally, it's like, it's flattering, but I don't think I could see myself pursuing it because, I'm not saying it's because it's not right, because they're in a whole relationship. I'm just saying it's because I know, for me personally, I don't like sharing. And as always, I am definitely sending you guys off with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. I gotta go.